So many of you have DM'd me this summer saying, Hisham, I just graduated college and I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. How do I figure out what I want to do with my career? Hisham, I just feel lost. And I've been there before. My first year after college graduation was pretty hard. And if I'm being honest, I'm still adjusting. But this channel is all about sharing what I've learned through my experiences. And I've picked up a thing or two over the past few years. So here are some things that we'll be talking about today. And I want to have an open dialogue with you all. So share what your experiences have been like after college. And if you haven't graduated yet, then let me know what you expect it to be like. Now let's talk about the reality of life after college. Hey everybody, my name is Hisham Khan and welcome to Income Over Outcome. Now graduating college is one of the most exciting things ever. It's like a culmination of 18 years of hard work finally coming together towards this one goal. It's a time for celebration with your friends and family because you made it. You feel accomplished. For a second, you might even feel like you're on top of the world. The reality though is that once that excitement wears off, you have no idea what to do next. You have no idea what you're really doing with your life. Some of your best friends you made over the last 4 years moved away from you. Everyone is having fun and posting pictures on Instagram and humble bragging about their new high-paying jobs on LinkedIn. So it feels like everyone else is thriving while you're lost. But the truth is, the vast majority of people feel lost after college, no matter what they show you online. And I know a lot of you feel this way because I asked you on Instagram how you feel about life after college. And the overwhelming response was things like nervous, confused, and scared. And it makes sense. I mean, all the way from kindergarten up until college, we're given a clear sense of direction with our lives and have attainable goals set for us. Like, okay, go to school, study, get good grades, play a sport or whatever, and then graduate onto the next level. And you do that over and over again up until your 20s, when all of a sudden that roadmap disappears and there's no clear sense of direction. But society still has these expectations from you. Even if you're like me and end up meeting some of these expectations, like getting a good job right after college, you might still feel stuck because all of a sudden you have all these responsibilities. You have to balance working over 8 hours a day with relationships, a social life, bills, events, and all you want to do in your free time is just relax, sleep, and binge watch TV. You're worried that the next 40 years of your life are going to look exactly like that. The same bland routine over and over again. And on the other hand, I have friends who didn't get so lucky and they're still worried about finding a job or paying off student loans. And that makes post-grad life even harder. The point is, the pressure we feel in our 20s is greater than ever before. We have to zero in on our passions in life, figure out what we want to do, make sure it's really fulfilling, and that we're making a whole bunch of money while doing it. The expectation is go to school, graduate, get the perfect job, get married, buy a house, have a kid, and then save up all this money so you can happily retire. And this pressure pushes a lot of people to try and make all these dreams come true at once. But that's impossible. You'll end up setting these unrealistic goals with arbitrary deadlines, like, oh, I want to own a home by the time I'm 30 years old. And then you're going to keep chasing and chasing these goals until you get burnt out and frustrated because you haven't made it yet. What I've learned is you need to ignore all of that noise and focus on yourself. Build your own life on your own timeline, and don't compare yourself to everyone your age on social media, because that's just a highlight reel. Kyle bragging about his fancy new investment banking job on LinkedIn isn't talking about how he works 100 hours a week and has nightmares about his boss yelling at him in his sleep. And I know people on social media with blue check marks whose day-to-day life is nothing like what they post online. They will literally rent supercars and fly on Spirit, but say they're flying on private jets, and they have pictures saved up that they will post throughout the week to make it seem like they're living some extravagant lifestyle. It's literally their job to make you think that you're living in some fairy tale, because if they don't do that, then they're going to lose all of their clout. So after college, the best thing you can do for yourself is stop chasing the future. Do what you enjoy doing right now and learn as much as you can about it. And I don't even mean career-wise or necessarily anything that makes you money. See, human nature is that to be fulfilled, our brains need to be stimulated and we need to be constantly learning and growing as a person. The reason a lot of people have such a bad time after college is because they fall into this really mundane, boring lifestyle. So get good at whatever interests you. If there's something you find really engaging right now, learn as much as you can about it. For me, I've always been into making videos and editing since I was a kid. I have a whole bunch of films that I made back in the day that are private on YouTube. Then when I started to feel like my life was getting boring after graduation, I picked up the camera again and started making videos. I had no idea that a bunch of you would follow me and I would end up making YouTube videos and TikToks. I just kind of fell into it, but now I'm able to help thousands of people and I have all of these new opportunities that I wouldn't have had I stuck with my normal routine of just working and hanging out with my friends. And what you choose for yourself doesn't have to be something that you commit to forever. Maybe one year you pick up cooking and the next is gardening. The point is that trying a bunch of different things will help you figure out what you really like, and it's going to give you a sense of purpose. Throughout the process, you'll collect a bunch of different skills that you'll put under your belt. Some you'll use and some you won't. But that doesn't matter because you'll always be working towards something personal, and over time you'll learn how to get good at things, which is a skill in and of itself. Eventually you'll be able to use what you learned in your career or other parts of your life. You might even stumble upon something that ends up being your true passion and turns into a career, just like you stumbled upon this video and ended up getting all of this great advice. And if you're enjoying this video, do me a solid and hit that like button and subscribe. And share this video with whoever you think it might help. Your friends, cousin, family, because not many people are going to tell you the reality of things like I do. Now, along the same lines of doing what you enjoy, too many people stress over the fact that they aren't really passionate about their job and they need to find something better ASAP. But let's be real, it's really rare to find the perfect job right after college. It takes time. Most people don't fall into the perfect role until their 30s, so there's no point of adding all this extra pressure onto yourself. And this might be an unpopular opinion, but your day job doesn't have to be what you're absolutely passionate about. What I love is traveling and hanging out with my friends, but it's a bit impractical for me to turn that into a career. So instead of killing yourself over finding a job that you love, look at your job as a tool that gives you the security and income to pursue your passion. You'll be much more content living your life that way. Now, if you truly hate what you're doing and you're absolutely miserable, then yeah, get the hell out of there. But it's okay if your job is just something that you don't mind doing for 8 hours a day, as long as it gives you the time, money, and energy to pursue what you truly enjoy. Maybe your true passion is art, but you find it's hard to make a decent living off of it. So instead, you get a job that you don't mind doing that will support the lifestyle you want, and then you use all of your free time and extra money to actually make art and do what you love. We make the mistake of thinking our job is what needs to fulfill us, but that's not necessarily the case. Having the time and resources to do what we truly love is what fulfills us, and your job is just a tool to help you get there. Now for me, one of the hardest things about graduating college was that all of the friends I made over the last 4 years got dispersed all over the place. All of a sudden, I went from having this amazing, thriving social life to only having like 2 close friends near me. And some of you who moved to brand new cities after college might even feel completely lonely. And here's the thing, you have to adjust how you deal with friendships, because making friends in college is way different than making friends in the real world. Meeting people at school is effortless. You meet people in your dorm, parties, classes, and everyone is always down to hang. But the real world is nothing like that. You have to take a much more proactive approach. Everybody is busy with work and has their own wild schedule. It's not like you come back from classes and have a whole squad already hanging out in your dorm that you can just spend time with. You have to get used to actually planning things out with your friends and actively keeping in touch with people who are far away. And the reality is, you're gonna lose some of your best friends. And yeah, that sucks. But the friendships that survive are strong and will probably last forever. Even though every single one of my college friends lives in a different city, we regularly FaceTime and we actually make time to travel to each other and do things together. It's way different than it used to be, but honestly, it's not all that bad. Now, when it comes to making new friends in a brand new city, I found you really just have to take initiative. You have to actively meet new people and then make the first move to meet up. I live in New York City, notoriously one of the rudest cities in the world where people just mind their own business. But I found that people are really friendly and willing to talk to you. You just have to take the initiative and spark a conversation first. Let's say you're in the elevator of your apartment building with some random person. Don't just sit there in awkward silence, strike up a conversation, and who knows, maybe they could become your new friend in the building. Also, what's led me to meet the most people is just saying yes to literally every single invite I get, even if I don't really want to go, because the more you get out, the more people you meet. One day I was sitting in my apartment's lounge and these people were throwing an absolute rager. One of the guys came up to me and he said I could join them if I wanted to. I just said yes, even though I was in the middle of some work, and I ended up going out with them that night. And now I'm friends with their entire group and we do things together all the time. So just saying yes and being open to new random things might be exactly what you need to reignite your social life after college. And you'll probably meet some really interesting people you wouldn't have run into otherwise. But I understand that can be hard to do and you might want to ease your way into it. So another great way to meet people is just at work. Adults don't really have the time to go out and meet a whole bunch of people, so it's really common for them to just become friends with their coworkers. After all, you spend countless hours with these people, so you might as well become friends with them. Just say yes to any invites you get from your coworkers. Go out to lunch with them, go to happy hours, and eventually, you'll find who you best click with. A handful of my work friendships spilled on over outside of work, and it's great. It's really nice to have friends who understand what you do and you can just get into it about things that some of your other friends might not understand. I also know some people who made really good friends by joining groups that interest them. Maybe you join a local rec league sport or volunteer somewhere. The possibilities are really endless. It is true though, your whole entire social atmosphere suddenly changing after college can be really scary. But trust me, there's just as many ways to make friends outside of college as there were in college. I even found that your social life after college can be way better because you and your friends actually have money to spend on cool experiences, like traveling together. So yeah, life after college isn't easy by any means. There's a lot that changes, but over time you'll adjust and thrive. Now, before leaving this video, don't forget to hit that like button and let me know your thoughts on what I talked about today. And if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss any of my future videos. And check out one of these because you're probably going to enjoy them. Now I'll see you next time, but until then, peace.